Yeah, hey, I got a show to do. I've actually screwed it up. Thanks a lot, Peyton Manning. I'll talk to you later, pal. All right, sorry about that. Peyton Manning needing some coaching advice from the great Red Velvet here. Welcome to the U Sports Chowdown. You know, it's been a busy week. Hope you had a great weekend. Happy Monday. Sectional football action started. Some teams ended their season. Some players ended their careers. We will get through that here in just a few moments. But now I got to thank the people that make this possible. Once I find it, here it is. Thank you to Wabash Valley Plumbing, RJs Formalwear, Varsity House Outfitters, and Haute Co. Also, thank you to our subscribers. You know, for 99 cents per month on Facebook, you can subscribe. All you got to do is click whatever, that button right there, 2 clicks, and you can support the Diner Pod for 99 cents a month. Thank you to all our subscribers. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to our coaches, our parents, our players. Thank you, everybody, for making this possible. Real quick announcement, Haute Co is having their grand opening Saturday at the new store. Come check it out. I'll be there doing something. Lord knows what I'll be doing, but we're going to have fun. Whenever Red Velvet's in town, we're going to have fun. So there's that. Enough of the plugs, the shameless plugs. We're going to get down to the brass tacks. We started off cross country, went to regionals, boys and girls, both team, boys and girls, both. I'm not a good English teacher, speaker, whatever you want to call it. Both boys and girls cross country teams went to regionals. Boys placed 9th, girls 12th, I believe. I could have that backwards, but I'm sorry. But we did have 2 state qualifiers. Hannah Harrison and Landon Props advanced to state this coming weekend. So congratulations to those athletes, and we will keep rooting you on. Can't wait to hear about your results from state. Sorry, I got remotes everywhere. If you look at my studio right now, you'll be like, this guy's a slob. You're not wrong. Anyway, moving on. We got Friday Night Lights action. Linton took on Mitchell. The Miners won 69-12. Then Cloverdale took on Clinton Central. The Clovers win big, 42-14. Landon Duncan had 6 completions for 116 yards, 4 carries, 65 more yards, and a tutty. Keyshawn Taylor, 26 carries, 158 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Trey Henderson, 4 catches for 80 yards. Ashton Evans added a rushing touchdown. Then on defense, Wyatt Whitaker had 13 tackles. Trey Shavel, a tackle and a pick. Then Fountain Central versus Park Heritage. The Dinerverse sectional is sectional 45. Out of the 8 teams, 6 of them are a part of the Dinerverse. Fountain Central took on Park Heritage. The Mustangs win 47-6. Some stats for the Mustangs. Woo. Eli Foxworthy, 8 pass completions, 170 yards, 3 tutties. Then 5 carries, 42 yards, and 3 more tutties. J.D. Allen, 9 carries, 131 yards. Asher Davis, 2 catches, 56 yards. Dakota Willoughby added a rushing touchdown. Aiden Batts had 2 receiving touchdowns. And Noah Dotson with a receiving tutty. Then on defense, Noah Dotson, 12 tackles, 2 TFLs. Ryan Mitchell, 10 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss and a pick. Eli Foxworthy, 3 tackles and a pick. And Wyatt Clark, 6 tackles and a pick. On the side for the Wolves, Sawyer Monick, 11 pass completions, 55 yards and a touchdown. Bentley Lambros, 9 carries for 41 yards. Leighton McMullen, 4 catches and 31 yards. And Blake Ledke had a receiving touchdown. On defense, Tucker Conley had 9 tackles, a TFL, and a forced fumble. Then we move up to sectional 39. North Putnam taking on Western Boone. Webo wins 49-42. Christian Kramer, though, had a game. Big game. 22 pass completions, 215 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 39 carries, 217 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the ground. 6 total touchdowns. Griffin Starr, 7 catches, 95 yards, and a touchdown. Wes Murphy had 2 receiving touchdowns as well. Then on defense, Wes Murphy, 12 tackles, and Caden Hankins with 10. Then Greencastle took on Brown County. Tiger Cubs win 63-14. Cole Stevens, 18 completions, 390 yards, and 7 touchdowns in the air. Then he ran for 4 carries, 31 yards, and a touchdown as well. Parker Welker, 5 carries, 8 touchdowns. Caden Blodgett, 5 carries, 5 receptions. I can't read. 160 yards and 4 touchdowns. Dalton Moelle had a rushing touchdown. Trevin Long, 3 receiving tutties. Parker Welker, 15 tackles, 3 TFLs, and a sack. And here we go. A lot of sacks this game. CJ Proctor, Lucas Johnson, Grayson Lindweber, and Jackson Funeral Soul. Totally butchered your last name. I apologize. 1 sack. And then Trevin Long added a pick as well. Cascade took on Indy, Washington. The Cadets win 58-0. Brady Trebley, 6 completions, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then added a touchdown on the ground. Dayton Mink, 3 carries for 46 yards. Delton Howery, 4 catches, 65 yards, and a touchdown. Toby Savini, 2 rushing touchdowns. Jackson Krober and Davion Robinson had a rushing touchdown. Royce Bright with a receiving touchdown. On defense, Timmy Turner had 5 tackles, 2 TFLs. Dayton Mink, a tackle, a TFL, and a sack. And Jet Hammond, an interception. And Bentley McClellan, scoop, and a score. Good job. He just got an offer from Hanover yesterday, I believe. I saw on the Twitter machine. So congratulations to that young man. North Central versus Covington. That was a ball game. I was actually in attendance for that game. I was on the mic, actually. T-Birds win 28-26. Lane Fagley, 5 pass completions, 62 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had 13 carries for 87 yards. Sawyer Cox, 18 carries, 133 yards, and a touchdown. He had catch for 26. Chris Benford, 3 catches, 27 yards, and a tud. Lane Simmons added a rushing touchdown, and Ryland Cox a receiving touchdown. On defense, Sawyer Cox, 9 tackles, 4 TFLs, and 2 sacks. And one of those sacks was the game-clinching sack. 4th down, 4th and 10, under a minute to go. Quarterback's looking around, bang, there's Sawyer. Knocks him down. You'll see it in the highlight reel later. William Davis, 3 tackles and a pick. Then North Davies took on Perry Central. The Cougars win big time, 54-6. Keaton Graber, 8 completions, 73 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Cole Bell had 1 carry, 70 yards, and a touchdown. Campbell Whitmer, 2 catches, 31 yards, a carry for 34 yards, and a tutty. Sky Cadet, Neil Cinnamon, and Dawson Bishop all had a rushing touchdown. John Nedeffer with a receiving tud. On defense, Hayden Sample, 7 tackles and a TFL. Anderson Amon, 2 tackles, 1.5 TFLs, and a sack. Northview took on Ron Colley. The Royals win 32-54. I'm not going to give you my thoughts on private schools right now. This is a family-friendly show. Colton Bath, 12 pass completions, 172 yards, and 3 touchdowns in the air. 18 carries, 103 yards, and another touchdown on the ground. Quinn Lewis had 2 catches for 75 yards and a touchdown. Avery Perry and Jake Rates each added a receiving touchdown. West Vigo took on Tri-West Hendricks. The Bruins win 35-14. Sullivan versus South Vermilion. This is a rematch from earlier when they played for the bronze helmet. I don't know if they played for it again. And I don't know how these rivalry games work like that. But Sullivan wins 70-14. Max Grice, 11 completions, 117 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then he had another rushing touchdown. Clark French goes off. 8 carries, 171 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Zane Catlin, 3 catches, 76 yards, and 2 tutties. And then another tutty on the ground. Peyton Carlson added a rushing touchdown as well. William Hollifield, 10 tackles, 3 TFLs, and a pick. Ethan Garrett, 5 tackles, 3 TFLs, and 2 picks. On special teams, Wyatt Epling had a punt return touchdown. For the Wildcats, Ben Shyrock, 8 completions, 47 yards, and a touchdown. He had 7 carries, 36 yards, and a tud. Colton Rippey, 2 catches, 26 yards, and a touchdown. And then on defense, Colton Robertson, the freshman, baby. 12 tackles, 3 TFLs, and a sack. Moving on in sectional 45, South Putt takes on Attica. The Eagles won 68-14. Drew Klein, 3 completions, 66 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had 2 carries for 22 yards as well. Ty Benton, 6 carries, 151 yards, and 3 tutties. Branson Enzer had a receiving touchdown. That was 34 yards. Damon Cox, 10 tackles, 3.5 TFLs. Keenan Mowry Shields, 9 tackles, a TFL, and a sack. Brody Burge had a pick 6. Styles Stotch with an interception. Blake Witt had a kick return tutty, and Ty Benton had a punt return tutty. That gave Ty Benton 4 touchdowns on the night. For Attica, Hayden Elliott, 5 pass completions, 63 yards, a touchdown, hit 10 carries for 19. Lucas Griffiths, 9 carries for 20 yards. Gunnar Payne, 2 receptions, 32 yards. Adler Pierce added a rushing touchdown. Tristan Miller with a receiving touchdown. Gabe Dreher had 6 tackles. Riverton Park took on North Vermilion. Panthers win 46-6. Brody McConnell, 2 completions, 8 yards, 12 carries, 116 yards, and a touchdown. Sean Vester, 15 carries, 160 yards, and a tutty. Victor Shootman, 8 carries, 130 yards. Chase Bennett, 1 catch for 7, 8 carries for 54 yards, and 3 tutties. Jackson Blevins, Derek Collin each had a rushing touchdown. The Panthers had over 500 yards of rushing Friday night. What an impressive stat that is. Chase Bennett, 7 tackles, a TFL, and half of a sack. Josh Ushman, 6 tackles, 5 TFLs, and 4.5 sacks. Richland County took on Robinson, and Richland County is the Little Illini Conference champions. Tigers won 43-21. Gavin Cawthorn, 3 completions, 46 yards, and a touchdown. Hit 7 carries, 37 yards, and 3 more touchdowns. Xavier Awastu Guyon, 11 carries, 111 yards, a catch for 16. Ian Pianfinetti, 2 catches, 35 yards, and 2 tutties. Then we have Marshall, the new Diner Pod team. Marshall took on Newton. The Lions win 32-15. Luke Brody had 7 completions, 66 yards, 9 carries, 22. Luca, I'm going to butcher this, Gina Vola. There we go. Got to say it slow, pal. 30 carries, 173 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He also had 1 catch for 6. Liam came 2 receptions for 22 yards. On defense, Luca, yet again, 9 tackles, a TFL, and a pick. Briar Jansen, 3 tackles, 2 TFLs, and 2 sacks. Caden Sanders, 6 tackles, and a pick. Now we move over to some CYFL action. All CYFL teams – I'll put my hat back on. I look hideous. Don't look at me. All CYFL teams went to the Mid-State Tournament in Mooresville. This is weekend 1. It's a 2-week tournament. The Pee Wee Knights took on Avon. The Orioles win 12-0. Cash Long got player of the game. Then the Knights took on Martinsville and won 32-0. Brody Weichel was your player of the game. The Junior Knights took on Center Grove, and the Trojans win 14-0. Kyler Keith had 13 carries for 18 yards. Cam McCoy, 10 carries for 26. Grayson Forker, 3 carries for 15. And Landon Pestoff, 2 carries, 2 yards. Cam McCoy had 5 tackles. Kaiden Lark, 4 tackles and a fumble recovery. Kyler Keith, 4 tackles and a forced fumble. Jace Barker, 3 tackles. Grayson Forker, 2 tackles and a fumble recovery. Asher Loudermilk had 2 tackles. Lincoln Trout, Caden Wells, Brody Vincel, and Landon Pestoff all with 1 tackle. Then the Knights took on the Whiteland Warriors. The Knights win 32-0. Grayson Forker, 105 yards and 3 touchdowns. Cam McCoy, 70 yards, a touchdown, and an extra point. Kyler Keith, 65 yards and a tud. The offensive line blocked great all game. On defense, the defense played great, giving up 0 points and causing 1 turnover with a forced fumble by Kaiden Lark, and he got the fumble recovery. On special teams, Kaiden Lark and Grayson Forker each had an onside recovery. Then we get to the senior league. The 5th grade Knights took on Ben Davis. The Giants win 28-0. Liam Fabre was player of the game. 5th grade Knights then take on Decatur Central. The Knights win 19-14. Players of the game were Landon Zabo and Dalton DeWig. DeWig had a touchdown run. Landon Zabo had a touchdown catch, and Fabre with a touchdown pass. Then on defense, Zabo with a pick to seal the game. 6th grade Knights took on Martinsville. They win 7-6. And no, I'm not saying the other way. No, I'm not going to say it. Javon Robinson, 12 carries, 120 yards, and an extra point. Max Rates, 13 carries, 60 yards, and a touchdown. Trenton Monteith had 5 carries for 19 yards. And Crease Daly, 5 carries for 13. Max Rates, 5 tackles. Eli Marlowe and Cale Sessinger, 4. Jonah Hollywood Harrington, 4 tackles and a fumble recovery. Cruz Shepard and Max Brown, 3 tackles. Damon Ferry and Jacob Greenwell, 2 tackles. And Javon Robinson with a tackle. Then the 6th grade took on the Mooresville Pioneers, and the Knights win 7-6. Like I said, I'm not saying it, pal. Max Rates, 13 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown. Crease Daly, 6 carries for 41 yards. Trenton Monteith, 14 carries, 38 yards. Eli Marlowe, 3 carries for 9 and an extra point. Kale Sessinger and Damon Ferry, 3 tackles each. Max Rates with 2. Eli Marlowe, Cruz Shepard, Tucker Cooksey, Max Brown, Jacob Greenwell, Jonah Harrington with 1. Now we get to some volleyball action at the Wabash Valley Family Sports Center. I probably butchered that name, but okay. The Golden Goats took on the green team. The Goats win 25-13 and 25-16. Then they took on the baby blue team, 25-6, 25-7. Goats with the dub. Then the Goats took on the blue team, and they win yet again, 25-13, 25-16. Chloe Lark, 6 aces, 6 assists, 2 steals. Carson Terrell, 5 kills, 2 assists, and 14 aces. Blakely Hickman, 9 aces, 11 kills, and 3 assists. Lila Brown, 5 kills, 8 aces. Vivian Moore, 8 aces, 5 kills, 2 digs. Melena DeWeese, 4 kills, a dig, and 7 aces. Braylon McGee, 4 aces, 3 kills, 2 assists. And Charlie Jones, 2 kills, a dig, and 15 aces. Golden Goats remain undefeated. And now we're going to some softball action. The 8U Warriors, they were at the Boo Bash. The Warriors start off against the Velocity. The Warriors win 15-12. Nora Thiemann, 2 hits, 3 ribbies, and a triple. Olivia Goda, 2 hits, 2 ribbies. Kennedy Kiefer, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a double. 2, 2, and 2. Raylan Wallace, 2 hits, a ribby, and a triple. Willow Stranger and Delaney Wilson with 2 hits. And Aubrey Ofsansky with a homer. Then the Warriors take on the Speakers. The Warriors win 15-0. Delaney Wilson, 2 hits, 3 RBIs, and 2 home runs. Lily Lumpson, Kennedy Kiefer, Olivia Goda all had 2 hits, 2 ribbies, and a triple. Nora Thiemann with 2 hits, a ribby, and a double. Willow Stranger and Ellie Meisner, 2 hits and a double. Raylan Wallace, 2 hits and a triple. And Aubrey Ofsansky, a home run. I can't see anything in these glasses. The Warriors then take on the Westside Diamonds. The Warriors win 12-11. Willow Stranger, Nora Thiemann, and Delaney Wilson with a hit. Then in the championship game, the Warriors take on the Gators. The Gators edge out the Warriors 17-16. Nora Thiemann, 3 hits, 3 ribbies, a double, and a home run. Delaney Wilson, 3 hits, 2 ribbies, a double, and a home run. Ellie Meisner and Aubrey Ofsansky, 3 hits, a ribby, and a double. Olivia Goda with a double, and Lily Lumpson with a triple. And that means the Warriors are the runner-up of the Boo Bash 8U division. Sorry, my wife texted me. My wife wants me to stir the pot. I'm on live, pal. Can't do that. Moving on, the 9U Warriors go there at the Boo Bash as well. The Warriors took on the Vincent Sting. Sting win 15-2. Lindley Scott and Brecken Griffith had 2 runs. Addison Peters, 2 strikeouts. And then the Warriors take on the Robinson Dynamite. The Dynamite. They're Dynamite. I just wanted to get cute. Sorry. Hadley Pearson and Savannah Wallace, a hit and a ribby. Brecken Griffith with 3 strikeouts. Then the Warriors take on the Cumberland Vets. The Vets win 12-8. Savannah Wallace had a hit and a ribby, and I'm totally guessing here because they're twins, and they both are B. Griffith on Game Changer. We're going to say it's Brecken Griffith got the double. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Carly Abusir with a triple, and Addison Peters for strikeouts. Now we're going to move over to the Witches Brew tournament where the Gators, 10U Reedy team were. They are the Witches Brew champions. So congratulations to those young ladies. The Gators start off against the Fire. The Gators win 12-0. Chloe Hoskins had a hit, 3 ribbies, and a triple. Tinley Wilkins, 4 strikeouts. Then the Gators take on the Spikes. Gators win 14-1. Sophia Wallace, 2 hits and a double. Tinley Wilkins, a hit, 3 RBIs. Madeline Moss had a hit, 2 RBIs and a double. Ellis Kula with a triple, and Maley Hoggett had a homer. Claire Reedy had 5 strikeouts on the mound. Then the Gators take on the Indiana Aces. Gators win 16-2. Rylan Strange, 2 hits, 3 RBIs, and a triple. Jocelyn Sanders, 2 hits and 2 ribbies. Claire Reedy had 2 hits and an RBI. Sophia Wallace, a hit and 2 ribbies. And Maley Hoggett added a double. Tinley Wilkins, 7 strikeouts. Then the Gators take on the Thunder Kids. The Gators win 8-7. Ellis Kula had a hit, an RBI, and a double. Chloe Hoskins had a hit and a ribby. Maley Hoggett had a double. Chloe Hoskins, 14 strikeouts. Very impressive. Then the Gators take on the Dragons. Gators win 4-1. Rylan Strange, a hit, an RBI, and a triple. Chloe Hoskins, 8 strikeouts. We move over to the Lady Braves 10U team. They were at the Haunted Hills tournament down in Shakamak. I think that's it. Don't quote me. Lady Braves take on the Explosion to start off. And, oh, by the way, I almost forgot. Lady Braves are the runner-up of the Haunted Hills tournament. And we will get there in just a moment. They took on the Explosion. The Braves win 16-1. Addie Griffith, 2 hits, 3 RBIs, and a triple. Harper Cox, 2 RBIs, 2 hits, an RBI, and a homer. And Brooke Fender, 2 hits, and a triple. Addie Griffith had 8 strikeouts. Then the Braves take on the Aces. Braves win 16-0. Hadley Pearson, 2 hits. Harper Cox had a hit, 5 RBIs, and a home run. Addie Griffith, a hit and 3 RBIs. Hayden Ray, a hit, 2 RBIs, and a double. And Brooke Fender with 4 strikeouts. The Braves then take on the Explosion yet again. Braves win 10-2. Zoe Cox, 2 hits and a ribby. Jalen Stewart, 2 hits, a ribby, and a triple. Brooke Fender, 2 hits and 2 doubles. Addie Griffith with 2 hits. Harper Cox with a triple. And Hayden Ray, 10 strikeouts. Then in the championship game, the Braves take on the Washington Softball Club. Washington wins 9-0. Josie Rash had the lone hit for the team, and Hayden Ray with 3 strikeouts. Congratulations. Now we go back to the Boo Bash, where your outcast 12U Austin team are your champions of the Boo Bash in their division. Congratulations to those young ladies. They start off, they play the same team 3 times in a row. That's tough to do. So kudos to you for beating the Marshall She-Cats 3 times. The Outcast win 10-6 in game 1. Madeline Ventura, 2 hits, 3 RBIs, a triple, and a home run. Jocelyn Martin had a hit, a ribby, and Millie Hayes had a hit and a ribby and a triple. Why that messed up the stat line for sure. Ha! That's why I'm not perfect. I never claimed to be. Just ask my wife. She knows I'm not perfect. Maggie Betcher had a hit, a ribby, and a home run. Scotland Stewart had a hit and a ribby. Taya Moreski had 5 strikeouts. Then in game 2, Outcast win 14-2. Jocelyn Martin, 2 hits, 3 RBIs, a double, and a triple. Addison Austin, a hit, 3 RBIs, and a double. Millie Hayes, a hit, 2 RBIs, and a double. And Taya Moreski, a hit and a ribby. Scotland Stewart had 3 strikeouts. Then in game 3 of Outcast and She-Cats, the Outcast sweep the She-Cats 12-0. Addison Austin, a hit, 2 ribbies, and a triple. Sadie Wheeler, a hit and 2 RBIs. Millie Hayes had 7 strikeouts. And then the Outcast take on the Vincennes Sting, and the Outcast win 7-1. Maggie Betcher, 2 hits, 3 RBIs, a double, 2 triples. Jocelyn Martin had a hit, an RBI, and a double. Madeline Ventura, a hit and a ribby. Addison Austin, 6 strikeouts. Then the Outcast take on the Gators. The Outcast win 10-4. Millie Hayes, 2 hits, a ribby, and a triple. Addison Austin, a hit, a ribby, and a triple. And Jocelyn Martin, a hit, and an RBI. Madeline Ventura had a double, and Addison Austin, 3 strikeouts. This was the last weekend of fall ball from everybody I've covered. So they all wanted to get it in. That's why we got a lot of stuff. And then the Outcast 13U Arnold team. The Outcasts take on the Ohio Silverbacks. Outcasts win 7-4. Brindley Young, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a triple. Hannah Klusner and Sam Mize, 2 hits and a double. And Audrey McCleary with 3 strikeouts. The Outcasts then take on the Lady Dukes, and they tie 6-6. Trinity Tanner, a hit and 2 RBIs. Brindley Young and Sam Mize, a hit and a ribby. And Brindley Young with 2 strikeouts. Then the Outcasts take on the Gators Premier, and they tie 4-4. Brindley Young with 2 hits and an RBI. Leah Rawlings with 2 hits. And Trinity Tanner with a double. Audrey McClure with 2 strikeouts. Then the Outcasts take on the Lake Effect Athletics. The Outcasts win 5-4. Brindley Young, 2 hits and a ribby. Brindley Arnold with a hit and 2 RBIs. Sophie Parker with a hit and an RBI. And Brindley Young, 4 strikeouts on the mound. And then the Outcasts take on Finesse Gomez. Finesse wins 6-1. Brindley Young, Brindley Arnold, and Brooklyn Barrett each had a hit. And Sam Mize, 2 strikeouts. Now we got some baseball. Instead of throwing like this, we throw like this. Nightmare on Diamond Street. The 7U tournament hosted here at the CYL. We start off the National Knights against the American Knights, and the National Knights did not update your game changer. So shame on you. But the American Knights did. The American Knights and the National Knights. Nationals win 15-0. Stetson Evans and Wesley Peters, 2 hits, and Noah Adams with a double for the American Knights. For the Nationals, Kobe Market, 3 hits, 3 RBIs, and 2 doubles. Bo Shoemaker, 3 hits, 2 RBIs. Emmerich Johnson, 3 hits and 2 doubles. Boston Metzinger with 3 hits, and Dax Chamberlain with a double. Then the American Knights take on the Cougars of North Putt. Cougars win 19-2. Grayson Ellis, 2 hits and an RBI, and Stetson Evans with a hit and a ribby. And then the American Knights take on the Cougars yet again. The Cougars win 15-0. Teddy Holmes, Grayson Ellis, Noah Adams, DJ Kent, and Waylon Cooksey, all with a hit. And while we're on the Nightmare on Diamond Street, we're going to start off with, that's not them, right there. The runner-up of that Nightmare on Diamond Street tournament was the North Putnam Cougars. Congratulations to those young boys right there. The winners, the champions, were the Riley. I don't know what they, Riley Rec League. We'll just go with that. I didn't know their nicknames. So congratulations to those teams. Thank you for coming out to the CYL and participating in the first ever Nightmare on Diamond Street tournament. Now we have the 9U Knights. I got to quit reading my tabs. The 9U Knights went to the Haunted Hits tournament. Knights faced the Cougars. Start us off. The Cougars win 10-5. Jax Cowden with 2 hits. Drew Shoemaker with a hit and an RBI. Rogue Nodley had 2 strikeouts. Then the Knights take on the Junior Sycamores, and the Knights win 16-0. River Compton with 3 hits and a ribby. Maddox Abrams, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a home run. Houston Dyer, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a double. And Wrigley Camp with 2 hits and an RBI. Maddox Abrams and Claire Harrison with 3 strikeouts. Then the Knights take on the Cougars yet again. The Cougars win 5-4. Maddox Abrams had a hit, an RBI, and a double. Griffin Medeiros had a hit and a ribby. And Maddox Abrams had 8 strikeouts. Now we've got the Mad Dog Black 11U, and I got to look up real quick where they did play. And because I'm pretty embarrassed that I did not write it down, even though I texted the father. They were at the Field of Dreams in the Smashing Pumpkins tournament. They start off against the Wow Factor Bandits. The Mad Dogs win 5-2. Cason Strong, 2 hits and an RBI. Cade Miller with 2 hits. Gabe McGill had a hit and 2 ribbies. And then Gabe McGill added 5 strikeouts. Mad Dogs then take on the Indiana Octane. The Octane win 12-5. Noah Karanovich had a hit and a double. And then on the mound, Cason Strong, Noah Karanovich, and Kane Espy each had a strikeout. If I butcher your names, I apologize. Mad Dogs then take on the Octane yet again. Octane win 8-7. Easton Overton, 2 hits and an RBI. Gabe McGill had a hit, 2 ribbies, and a double. Kane Espy had a hit and a ribby. And Case Sebastian with 2 strikeouts. Then we move to the 12U Chaos. They were, boom, right there. They're the runner-up at the Zombie Bash. So here we go. We're going to talk about it. So congratulations, Chaos. Chaos started off against Mad Dog 12U. Chaos wins 7-3. Parker Hazlitt, 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Gannon Sterling, 2 hits, a ribby, and a double. And Cole Sessinger had a hit and an RBI. Wyatt Tabler, 3 strikeouts. Then the Chaos take on the Indiana Bulls. Bulls win 13-3. Parker Hazlitt had 3 hits and an RBI. Elijah Fair, 2 hits and a ribby. Reed Robinson, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. And Patrick Stevens had 5 strikeouts. Then the Chaos take on the Mattoon Pride. Chaos win 8-7. Wyatt Tabler, 3 hits, an RBI, and a double. Reed Robinson, 2 hits, 5 RBIs, a double, and a home run. Jack Dirth with 2 hits, and Parker Hazlitt with a double. Parker Hazlitt and Patrick Stevens had 1 strikeout. Now we got the Chaos and the Junior Sycamores in the quarterfinal. I'm going to go through the box score a little bit, and then I have our coaches write-up. The Chaos win 9-6. Gannon Sterling, 2 hits and an RBI. Parker Hazlitt had a hit, 2 RBIs, and a double. Cole Stessinger had a hit and an RBI. And Reed Robinson with a double. Wait a minute. That's a semifinal. My bad. The write-up's over here. See, this is what happens. We're going to read it anyway. So this is going back to the Chaos versus Mattoon Pride game. Sunday's quarterfinal game of the Terre Haute North Zombie Bash. Reed Robinson hit a grand slam in the 3rd inning, erasing a 5-1 deficit. After the hour and a half time limit has been exceeded in the 5th inning, Chaos battled for 2 more innings in the bottom of the 7th. A leadoff double by Parker Hazlitt scored the overtime runner, which was Jack Dirth. He came from second base. Then Wyatt Tabler followed up with a walk-off to center field, scoring Parker from second base. I do have those clips. They'll be in the highlight reel. All right, just bypass what I said that was the semifinal. We're good. Now we get to the championship. Chaos and the Bulls. Bulls win 3-2. Parker Hazlitt and Gannon Sturley each had a hit, and Liam Fabre with a ribby. Reed Robinson had 4 strikeouts on the mound. So congratulations, Chaos. While we're in the 12U division, I do have this I received. The Trash Pandas from Farmersburg, they went to the Smashing Pumpkins tournament, won the whole thing, and they're ranked number 1 in single A in their division. Now we get to the 15-6U division. We got the Indiana Canes versus the Indiana Bulls. The Canes win 5-2. Carson Norris had 2 hits and 2 RBIs. Darren Grubbs had 2 hits. Christian Miranda, 5 strikeouts. And then the Canes take on the Indy Sharks. Sharks win 7-6. Brady Cook with 2 hits and 2 RBIs. Carson Norris, 2 hits and a triple. And Jaden McWhirter with a triple. Darren Grubbs, 5 strikeouts on the mound. Then we got the Wabash Valley Sluggers. They take on the Midwest Versailles Gold. And they tie 9-9. Keegan Altepeter with 2 hits. Bruce Landis had a hit and 2 RBIs. And Bryce Branson with a double. On the mound, Keegan Altepeter, 6 strikeouts. Then the Sluggers take on the Canes from Cincinnati. The Canes win 10-2. Bryce Branson had the hit and 2 RBIs. Bowen Smith with 3 strikeouts. Then the Sluggers take on the Bam Diamond. Sluggers win 14-0. Benton Hoskins, 3 hits and 4 RBIs. Bryce Branson, 2 hits and 3 RBIs. Keegan Altepeter with a double. Cooper Lovett had 3 strikeouts. Then the Sluggers take on TBD. Bowen Smith, 2 hits, 4 RBIs, and a double. Benton Hoskins, 2 hits and 2 RBIs, and Bruce Landis with a double. Landon Penman, Benton Hoskins, and Bowen Smith all had a strikeout. It's a big week. A lot of stuff we just covered there, and I'm almost out of air. But now is my favorite part of the show, and it is the Red Velvet Power Performers. And this week's power performers are Keyshawn Taylor from Cloverdale, Cole Stevens from Greencastle, Christian Kramer from North Putt, Josh Ushman from Riverton Park, Parker Welker from Greencastle, Sawyer Cox from North Central, Bryce Branson from the Sluggers, Kobe Market for the 7U Knights, Blakely Hickman for the Golden Goats, Nora Thiemann for the Warriors 8U, Savannah Wallace for the Warriors 9U, Harper Cox for the Lady Braves 10U, Maggie Betcher for the Outcast 12U, Brindley Young for the Outcast 13U, Maddox Abrams for the Knights 9U, Noah Karanovich for the Mad Dog Black 11U, Reed Robinson for the Chaos, Cash Long for the Pee Wee Knights, Brody Weichel for the Pee Wee Knights, Kyden Lark for the Junior Knights, Grayson Forker for the Junior Knights, a lot. Landon Zabo for the 5th grade Knights, Max Race for the 6th grade Knights. And since it's still football season, I got to pay homage to the big hog mollies up front, the Trench Warriors. And this week's youth Trench Warriors are Cruz, the Boogeyman Shepherd, Jonah Harrington, Max Brown, Damon Ferry, Johnny Pot Roast, Max Osborne, Caden Wells, Brody Vinsel, Cash Long, Max Sheridan. And for the high school, the prep team, Devin Orman from Northview, Cale Allen from Northview, Tristan Mackey from Northview, the entire Riverton Park O-line, Hunter Taylor from North Central, Skylar Jackson from North Davies, Levi Hallfield from Sullivan, the entire Greencastle O-line. Casey Thoman from Olney. Dresden Kenworthy from Linton. Lucas Hall from South Putt. Eric Appleby from Cascade. Carson Kirkpatrick from Fountain Central. And for the defensive line, Cale Allen from Northview. Carter Raids from Northview. Tristan Mackey from Northview. Devin Orman from Northview. Carson Tramball from North Davies. Josh Ushman from Riverton Park. TJ Hamilton from Cloverdale. Anthony Horsley from Cloverdale. Jacob Webble from Sullivan. Ryland Cox from North Central. Aiden Sparks from Linton. Jackson Fundersoul from Greencastle. Damon Cox from South Putt. Gabe Dreyer from Attica. Xander Holtz from Olney. Bentley McClellan from Cascade. Colby Golia from Fountain Central. So that does it for this edition of the Chowdown. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. We'll see you next week. Be sure, keep pushing, working hard, okay? I look forward to it. We got one more week of CYFL action, and that does it for youth football. We're in the playoffs for high school football, so it's winding down. Basketball season's getting ready to ramp up. Wrestling's getting ready to ramp up. So please send us those stats, and I look forward to covering other sports. So take care. Keep pushing. Here comes the highlight reel.